All right, let's talk about one of the most important shifts happening in business today, the evolution of the Chief Information Officer. We're going to look at how this role is moving away from just being a back office utility, keeping the lights on, and becoming a central driver of strategy and a real competitive advantage. So, how does a CIO actually pull that off? Let's dive into the playbook.
And this change is absolutely fundamental. I mean, think about it. In the past, IT was seen as this necessary evil, right? A cost center just meant to manage operations. But the future, and really it's happening right now, sees the CIO as a true strategic partner, someone who's expected to actively create value for the entire company. It's a massive change in both mindset and what's expected of them.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. It's not about managing servers anymore. It's about enabling the business to win. That could mean creating better customer experiences, using data to make smarter decisions, or getting products to market faster. This is the new mission, plain and simple.
So, why is this change happening now? Why is it so critical? Let's break down why the modern CIO has become one of the most vital roles in the entire C-suite.
Well, the modern CIO has to wear a ton of hats. They can't just play defense anymore, guarding against all those cybersecurity threats out there. They also have to be on offense, using technology as a real competitive weapon to drive digital transformation and make the whole company faster and more agile. They're that essential bridge, the person who translates the CEO's big vision into the tech that actually makes it happen.
To juggle all of that, a CIO needs a playbook. So let's look at the 5 strategic pillars that really form the framework for making a genuine impact.
And here they are. This 5-pillar framework is pretty much the blueprint for success. It makes sure a CIO is covering all the bases, from high-level strategy and rock-solid operations to driving innovation and managing risk. But hey, look at that last one, talent and culture. It's a huge reminder that none of this stuff happens without the right people. Let's take a closer look at each one.
Okay, first up, strategic alignment. The old way of doing things, where IT just chases the latest shiny tech trend, that's completely dead. Today, every single IT project has to be directly linked to a business goal, whether it's growing revenue, getting into a new market, or just keeping customers happy. This means the CIO has to be in the room when strategies are being made, not just getting a memo about it later. The big question is always, how does this help us win?
Next up, operational excellence. You just can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, right? This is all about making sure the core systems, the digital plumbing of the company, are working perfectly. It's about automating the boring stuff to free people up and actively tackling technical debt. That's all the baggage from old systems and shortcuts that just slows everything down. Without this, any big innovation plans are just built on sand.
Now for the really exciting part, innovation. This is where IT stops being just a support function and becomes a growth engine. It's about using powerful tools like AI and the cloud to create brand new products and services. But the real key here is partnership. It's not about IT building something in a lab and then throwing it over the wall. It's about embedding tech experts inside the business units, working together to solve their biggest problems.
But as we innovate, we absolutely have to protect the company. That brings us to Pillar 4, governance, risk, and security. In a world with constant threats, this is totally non-negotiable. The CIO has to build a digital fortress, not just to fend off cyber attacks, but also to protect customer data and manage all the new risks that come with new technologies and partners.
And that brings us to what might be the most important pillar of them all, talent and culture. A digital transformation is ultimately led by people, not by code. A great CIO invests in training their team, builds a culture where people are always learning, and knows how to lead the organization through the massive changes needed to make it all stick.
Okay, so we've got the 5 pillars. They make sense, but how do you actually put them into action? Let's walk through a practical roadmap for what a CIO should do in their first year.
Breaking it down like this makes the whole strategy feel way more manageable. It's split into 3 phases. The first 90 days are all about listening, learning, and getting a few quick visible wins on the board. Then, the rest of the year is for the heavy lifting, building out new capabilities. And after that, it's all about scaling up and making this new way of working the new normal.
So let's zoom in on those crucial first 90 days. The number one priority is to listen. Go meet with the other leaders. Find out what their biggest headaches are. At the same time, do a quick checkup on the state of IT, and then launch one small, high-impact project. This is all about building trust and proving you can deliver right from the very beginning.
So, once you've built that credibility, the next 9 months are all about execution.
It's go time. This is when you roll out that big technology roadmap, start the major projects in things like cloud and data, and begin that super important work of improving operations and really investing in your people.
So, the plan is in motion. But how do you actually prove that it's working? And what are the common traps you need to avoid along the way? Let's get into the vital topics of measurement and risk.
This is everything. Absolutely key. If you want a seat at that strategic table, you can't be talking about server uptime and gigabytes. You have to speak the language of the business. And you know what that language is? It's metrics. Clear, simple proof of value. So here's a classic example. An operational metric like 99.99% system availability, that's important for the IT team for sure. It shows you're keeping the lights on, but it's only the start of the story.
Now, a business metric like this one, IT cost as a percentage of revenue. This is what speaks directly to the CEO and the board. This number translates all that technical work into financial impact, and that is a language everyone in the C-suite understands loud and clear.
Of course, this journey is full of potential pitfalls. The most common reasons these things fail are a lack of alignment with the business or just not measuring value in a way people understand. The fix? You always start with the business goal. You have to balance shiny new projects with keeping the core system stable. And, like we just said, you have to measure everything from day one.
So let's wrap this all up. The modern CIO is a strategic business partner, not just the IT guy. Your playbook is built on those 5 pillars. You need a clear roadmap to get things done. You have to measure your results in business terms. And above all else, remember that technology is powered by people. Great teams are what really drive success. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about for your own company. Is your technology just another line item on the budget? Or are you actually using it as the powerful strategic weapon it can be to go out there and win?